Hey guys, how you doing today? I'm David Mathas. Thank you guys for tuning into my channel. I really appreciate it. All your guys' support means a lot to me, and if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. It'd mean a lot to me. But for today, I want to talk about the topic of reverse dieting. It's kind of a hot topic nowadays, right? Not only in the fitness industry, but just in general population as well. People are starting to get this idea of understanding the importance of reverse dieting. Now, what is reverse dieting? Well, we all know what dieting is, right? It's when you're lowering calorie intake, increasing energy expenditure, things like that to lose weight, to lose fat. But reverse dieting is actually the opposite, right? This is when you start slowly adding in calories back into your diet, maybe lessening the cardio a little bit, right? Now, what's the purpose of the reverse diet? Well, when you diet, your metabolism starts to adapt, right? That negative adaptation slows your resting metabolic rate, meaning that your body actually does not burn as many calories as it once did. Now, that can be troublesome, right? Obviously, when you're prepping, right, or you're in a fat loss phase, you need to be in that caloric deficit, and you need to get those calories, the calorie intake a lot lower than your calorie expenditure, right? Because that is how you're going to drop body fat. That's how you're going to get shredded for the stage. That's how you're going to lose the 20, 30 pounds that you need to lose, right? But at some point, your body is smarter than you. Your body does not want to change. It fights us, right? Our body's main goal is not to be shredded or step on stage, right? Our body's main goal is to survive. It needs that body fat to survive. We were built, we evolved over the years. We were able to continue as a species because we learned how to use body fat for energy. We learned how to adapt. Our metabolism's adapted, right? Well, when you are in that fat loss phase and your calories get so low, your body can negatively adapt to that. It can basically stop burning as many calories and start storing those as fat. That's why you see a lot of people when they get down to, say, 1,100, 1,000, under 1,000 calories, they can't continue to lose weight. And that seems crazy, right? You're barely eating any food. How are you not still dropping body fat? The reason is because your body has adapted. Your metabolism has adapted to make that your new norm. This is troublesome, guys. If you can't be losing weight on 1,000 calories, then we need to start bumping those calories back up. Think of your body as a fire, right? That the logs that you throw on that fire are food. It's the protein, it's the carbs, it's the fats, it's the nutrients that you're taking in. When you first start off with a fire, it's very low, right? It's not until you start adding those logs to the fire that flame starts burning hotter and brighter and faster, right? Same thing with your metabolism, guys. You actually need to eat food in order for your body to learn how to burn food. You cannot burn something that is not there. So that's what's the issue with those low calorie diets. Your body gets to this point where it's like, am I starving or what's going on? And it's gonna hold on to those calories that you are taking in and not burn them extra, right? Because your body wants to preserve whatever energy you're taking in for internal organ use first. Right? It's not worried about packing on muscle. It's not worried about burning fat. It wants to take care of your organs first. So you do a reverse diet. Now, the rate at which you do a reverse diet, which you add more calories back into your diet, is going to be very dependent. It's going to be dependent on where your starting calories are. It's going to be dependent on your history of dieting. It's going to be dependent on how low a body fat you were to begin with, and also how willing you are to increase body fat at whatever rate it is, right? Typically, I like to do a very conservative reverse diet at first, not adding in more than 5 to 10% calories that first week back on the reverse. Why is that? Well, even with that just a little bit of increase, your body, you can start seeing results, right? So say you are on a 1,000 calorie diet and you're not losing any weight, you know it's time to reverse. I would only bump that up to about 1,100, maybe 1,150 for that first week. The reason is to give that metabolism quick start, right? Now, some things you can expect to see in that first week are maybe a little bit of weight gain, but that's going to be some water and glycogen retention, right? Because when you reverse diet, and once again, this is dependent on how your macros were set up when you started this reverse, but it's more beneficial, studies are showing, to add a more increase in carbohydrates during your reverse diet than it is fats. So not to say you're not going to add fats back in, but at a higher rate, you're going to add carbohydrates back in because it's less likely to be stored as fat. It's more likely to be used as energy, both in everyday living and in the gym. It's a lot harder for glucose, for carbohydrates, to get converted into stored fat than it is for actual fat. Now, with that being said, carbohydrates can still be stored as fat when you are in a caloric surplus and you are just piling on the food, right? That's where carbs kind of get a bad name. But back to reverse dieting. So from there, after you figure out your first initial calorie increase for that reverse diet, you got to kind of play it by ear. First of all, you have to have a plan to figure out how fast you're willing to gain weight, right? Typically, I would kind of generally shoot for about 1/4 of a pound to a 1/2 pound of weight increase per week. Now that's very, very dependent on what your goals are, right? If you are trying to get right back into your improvement season and put on some more muscle, then you want to probably try to reverse a little bit quicker, right? A little bit more of a rate. If you have maybe a few months in between shows that you're trying to do, maybe your reverse needs to be a little bit slower so that you don't gain all that extra body fat and make it harder to take it off when it gets closer to showtime in a few months. If you're a general population person, pretty much the guidelines I was talking about, start off with about 10% and then go from there. Maybe you're only increasing 2% each week of your total calories and everything. The important thing is to have a goal in mind, have a process that you want to follow, because it's going to make everything a lot easier than that. One misconception with reverse dieting is that you're going to lose weight when you start reverse dieting, because there's a lot of people, there's a lot of anomalies out there that when you start adding calories back in, their weight actually comes down. That's why you can see someone maybe at 200 pounds that is only eating like 1,100 calories, but then they start reverse dieting and adding calories in, they get up to 1,300, 1,400, 1,500, things like that, and their weight actually starts coming down. Well, that's because their metabolism gets firing again, right? That's not going to be the case for everybody. It's going to be very, very individually based and dependent on where you're starting at, right? What your goals are, your history of yo-yo dieting, things like that. Typically, what you want to keep in mind with a reverse is the main point of it is to repair an adapted metabolism, right? You're going to have to be okay with maybe gaining a little bit of weight. Understand that it's not going to be all fats. You want to increase your glycogen, you want to increase your water storage. All this stuff is going to help aid in recovery and help your metabolism and stuff. But understand that this is just a phase, right? Just like fat loss is a phase. You need to go into it with the mindset that you are doing this to repair your metabolism, whatever happens, right? Because say you do gain some weight on a reverse diet. Well, if you can get your calories up from 1,100 calories to 1,800, 1,900, 2,000 calories, well, that's just going to make the dieting process that much easier because you're at a higher starting point, right? And then as soon as you start doing a fat loss phase, your body's going to respond like that. It's not going to be as drastic. You're probably going to find that you're not going to have to get down quite as low in calories again as you did before to lose weight. So reverse dieting is a very good tool to use, but you have to understand how to use it and why you are using it. Another misconception is that, a reverse diet just means that you can go on a binge, right? That you can just eat whatever you want and everything, and that's not true. This is a very controlled process, just like dieting is a controlled process. If you go into anything haphazardly, you're going to not see the results that you want to see, right? You're going to gain that body fat. You're going to stall out at times, right? Reverse dieting needs to be carefully planned out. You need to understand what you want to get out of it, right? And go slow. The slower you reverse diet, you might not see the results as quick as you want to see, but they're gonna be sustainable. And in the long run, 5-6 months from now after reverse dieting, you're gonna be at a better body composition, you're gonna be at a better metabolic rate, and you're gonna be set up for an efficient fat loss or prep stage, right? Whatever it is that you're trying to shoot for at that point. But first and foremost, understand that the reverse diet is not a means to lose weight. It does happen for people, but you cannot count on that, right? You have to understand that reverse dieting is meant to repair your metabolism first and foremost. I know you see on Instagram, you see on YouTube, you see on Facebook, all these people that go on reverse diets and all of a sudden they start dropping 10, 15, 20 pounds. That can happen, yes. Is that gonna happen for you? I don't know. Most of the time your coach isn't gonna know. It takes a little time for a coach and client to build that relationship and understand how the body's gonna work and how it responds to different things. So if you're looking to set up your own reverse diet and you're not working with a coach, understand that you're gonna have some better weeks than others, right? Some weeks you might increase weight more than others. That's when you just back off a little bit. Always use your process week to week, right? Understand that you're gonna need to make adjustments from week to week. Not every week is gonna be the same. You can't really predict fat loss, just like you can't predict weight gain that much. There's a lot of factors that go into it. Your stress levels, your sleep, your recovery, maybe the type of foods that you're eating, right? You can flexible diet or you can meal plan with a reverse diet, but you need to understand how those foods react to your body. Maybe it causes you inflammation. Maybe that's causing you water retention, weight gain, and making you pack on some more fat faster than you want. So just some things to keep in mind with a reverse diet. Is it for you? Is it not for you? I would say that if you are on pretty low calories and you're not losing weight and you're exercising consistently, you probably want to look into a reverse diet, right? Maybe it's not a long-term reverse diet. Maybe it's a 4-week reverse diet. Maybe it's an 8-week reverse diet. But always keep in mind that you want to think of health first. And once you get your health down, the physique will come, the performance will come. But you don't have anything unless you have your health. And if you have a slow adapted metabolism because of years of dieting, yo-yo dieting, just being on low calories, maybe over-exercising a lot, look into this reverse diet. You can check out more things on my channel. You can check out more things from my Instagram. So yeah, sorry, I blinked for a second. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you guys have any more questions about if reverse dieting is right for you, maybe you want to go into a fat loss phase, whatever it is, you can reach out to me at mathasfitness@gmail.com. I'll leave my information in the description below. I'd love to help you out, work with you a little bit, and get you on the right track to helping you achieve your goals. So everyone take care. Thank you again for tuning in. I'm David Mathas. I really appreciate it. Like, subscribe, and share if this was helpful.